Boston Globe pregame reports.
Feels like late August. It's actually early June. A scorcher today, but we've got baseball tonight. Interleague play continues at Fenway Park as the Jets go flying by, and we take you into the ballpark. And the Padres come to town on Nomar's return, Game 2 between these two teams. A three-game series continuing. Welcome as Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report. I'm Tom Karen. He's Bob Tewksbury. And a big night at Fenway Park. Nomar Garciaparra finally ready to play with the big club.
Finally, everyone was wondering when. Maybe it was going to be yesterday, and it is indeed today. Nomar had the rehab stint last night in Pawtucket and felt good, so he's back in the lineup tonight. And it's exciting for all the Red Sox fans to see number 5 going out on the ball field today. Yeah, it's going to be a great moment when he comes out and gets that reaction from the crowd. We'll have it for you here. And we'll go one-on-one with Red Sox General Manager Theo Epstein. Nick Cafardo will join us here in studio with a Major League Baseball notebook. And we will have live coverage of the presentation, the annual Red Sox Scholars Class of 2004. But Nomar Garciaparra ready to start play in 2004, at least big league play. His rehab is over. He says the Achilles is ready to go. Says he's not 100%, doesn't know when he'll be 100%, but at long last, he'll be part of the lineup tonight. Well, it's one thing to play when you're 100%. I don't think players are 100% the first day after they get to spring training. But the thing is that what's most important when coming back from an injury is to know that you're not going to hurt yourself more by playing on it. And I think the test that Nomar went through in his rehab performances with the Paw Sox indicated that he can play on this. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's not 100%, but is it going to get worse? No, and that's a good thing.
6 games with the Paw Sox. You see the numbers. He had 238, including 0 for 3 last night. Missed 57 games with the Red Sox. They're 34 and 23. Yes, welcome back, Cotter, playing in the background. Welcome back, Nomar, is the story tonight. And Nomar says it was really just a matter of making sure the Achilles could handle the increased pressure he put on himself as he moved up his rehab, and that he is ready to play at the big league level tonight.
There's been improvement, and I expect to be improvement, hopefully every day as things progress. And that's just, when you talk about the tissue, you train it at different speeds, at different levels. We're training all along. You can never simulate game speed or a game situation. We did that. Then we got into some games, and obviously, this is another level as well. So it's time to get reacquainted with that game speed at this level. So hopefully the tissue just continues to get stronger and stronger. But it's also not going backwards, which indicates that I can go forward and play in some games.
The big question everyone's been asking day after day, when will Nomar be back? We have the answer to that. The other question everyone's been answering is, where will he bat? Who will play where? We have the answers for you. Nomar Garciaparra will bat 5th. In the lineup tonight to go Damon, Bellhorn, Ortiz, and Ramirez. So Bellhorn, not Pokey Reese playing at second base. Details on all of that, beginning with the batting order. Terry Francona says Nomar will move around in the order. That's not unusual. He has done that before. But the interesting thing, Terry Francona is saying, Ortiz and Ramirez pretty much locked up in the 3 and 4 spots of that order. He likes the way those guys are there. So Nomar probably won't bat 3rd or 4th.
I happen to agree with that because I think that Nomar is probably a 5 or a 2 guy. I wouldn't mind seeing Nomar in the 2 spot. As an opposing pitcher, if you face Damon and then Nomar, speed at the top of the lineup. Nomar is a free swinger, certainly might take away from Johnny stealing, but the fact that you have speed on the bases at the upper part of the order may be good, and he's such a great hitter. And he can be in the 5 spot. He can give that guy right there, Manny Ramirez, some protection by hitting behind him, and now you have Veritek hitting behind Nomar. I mean, it solidifies the lineup, and there's options. I wouldn't necessarily want to move Ortiz or Manny at this point. To move 2 guys for 1 doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I think the 5 spot's good right now.
Could certainly give him some instant RBI opportunities with Ortiz and Manny batting ahead of him. Meantime, we told you, Mark Bellhorn, the second baseman tonight, batting second. However, don't get locked into that concept either. First of all, they want Pokey Reese to have a day to practice, essentially, take some ground balls at second base. Hasn't started a game this season at second base, even though he has won how many gold gloves over at second base. This is him taking some BP today at second. So he will get his chance probably tomorrow to be the second baseman.
Well, the timing's so important. You know, Pokey's played all year at shortstop, filling in for Nomar all season long. He has played a lot of second base, and particularly with the Reds. He's a very good second baseman, but it's that timing issue. It's the ability to come into second, to turn a double play from another angle. The throws are different. The turn from second to first is different. There's a number of timing issues related to this. I think a day at second, practicing those issues is a good thing. And
you'll see rotation of the infielders. Again, Bellhorn at second, Youkilis at third tonight. I think you'll see Bellhorn playing over at third base some nights with Pokey Reese at second. And Nomar Garciaparra is not going to be able to play every night coming back from the injury.
Oh, Nomar's kind of on like a pitcher's pitch count. He's going to work his way up to maybe a complete game, and that might be 140 pitches or so. So Nomar will indeed be out there, and they will take this just like it's a rehab start with a pitcher. They may not play. He may not play the full game tonight. Who knows? He has not done that yet, but he will definitely not be going 5 games in a row. I can tell you that. He'll build up his innings, and it's a long season. It's good to have him back, but he's going to start out slow.
Nomar, Bellhorn, Reese, and Youkilis, 4 infielders, essentially using them for 3 spots, and they'll rotate them around, I think, night to night. Meantime, the roster move that accompanies the activation of Nomar Garciaparra, a bit of a surprise. Brian Daubach is sent down to Pawtucket. They keep Andy Dominique, who starts at first base tonight. The idea being he can play first base like Daubach, but he's a catcher, so now they can use Doug Mirabelli a little more often.
Well, they always say in the minor leagues, if you're a fringe player, the more positions that you can play, you increase your chances of playing in the big leagues, particularly if you can be a third-string catcher. Andy Dominique can play a very good first, he's a very good hitter, and he can be a very serviceable third catcher. This is one of those situations. Dominique worked on those skills. It's paid off.
And you can see, I think, Mirabelli more often as a pinch hitter, as a DH from time to time. They've only done that once. Put him and Paratic
especially against lefties. He's so good against lefties. He's got 3 home runs. He's hitting .400 against lefties. 3 of those hits or 3 home runs against them. So to get his bat again in that lineup certainly helps the offense.
Busy afternoon here at Fenway Park. A lot going on. Other roster move announced today. There are other guys on their way back and moving up their rehab. A lot to report, which is why we go out to our reporter, Eric Freed, with more on the return of Nomar Garciaparra.
And that is the big story, Tom. Thank you very much. As Nomar is back here after playing at McCoy Stadium last night, he met with the Red Sox this afternoon, and the decision was made, as you mentioned, for him to play here today. For all the talk about the Achilles tendon, for all the talk about the timetable and the time it took for him to return. Remember, he was expected to be ready by opening day. The fact of the matter is, today is opening day for Nomar Garciaparra, and he's thrilled to be back at Fenway.
I'll be excited. I'm always excited when I'm out there. You know, I'm excited, especially when, you know, being home here, you know, with the great fans and everything. So I'm going to be excited, you know, and it's like opening day for me. You know, when I'm excited on opening day, nervous, anxiety, everything goes through you. But great thing is I get to play baseball, so I get to go out there and play the game I love, and that's really all that matters. That, you know, when you have an injury, you just want to get back. You just want to go out there and be able to play the game you love, and today I'm going to be able to do that.
As you mentioned, Brian Daubach outrighted to Pawtucket, and Theo Epstein, the Red Sox general manager, saying that Daubach will accept the assignment and play in Pawtucket tomorrow. Jamie Brown, the pitcher, will start in Pawtucket tonight. He was sent down, and Mark Malaska, the lefty, back here with the big club. He was recalled today, and he'll be in the Red Sox bullpen. On the other injury fronts, Scott Williamson throwing a side session today off the mound here at Fenway. Afterwards said he felt good. We're waiting now to see when he'll be given the green light to return to the Red Sox bullpen. Should be a matter of days at this moment. Trot Nixon is back at Fenway at this hour. He's meeting with the media right now at inside Fenway Park here, and he is expected to play at Pawtucket tomorrow night, and then we'll see what the timetable is for the Red Sox right fielder. So a lot of roster moves today, a lot to come over the next few weeks. Theo Epstein will go into detail on that in just a few minutes. But for now, that's the story from here on the field. Tom.
Well, Eric, how long have we been saying that this is not the team you expect to see later in the season? Finally, now that team is starting to come into focus a little bit.
And you have to give a lot of credit to what's been done by the replacements here, like Kevin Youkilis, like Mark Bellhorn, who came in to be a utility guy, and he's playing every day and playing well. And Pokey Reese, not even in the lineup today, but getting that shot at second base tomorrow night. And Terry Francona saying that Pokey will be in the lineup tomorrow. So a lot of interchangeable parts, and a lot of guys played well, waiting for these reinforcements, the regulars, to arrive.
All right, Fried, a nice job as always. We'll check in with you later on. Eric Fried will be joined by General Manager Theo Epstein, as he said, and we'll get the latest on the roster moves that have happened and the roster moves to come, as Eric said. When we come back, we're going to head over to the ice a little bit, talk about the non-surprising announcement today that Ray Bourque is a Hall of Famer. We knew it all along, and indeed, Theo Epstein will talk about the improving state of the Red Sox. Browns 29-4. Bobby Doerr had 3 home runs, 8 RBI. Ted Williams had 2 home runs and 5 RBI as the Sox had 28 hits in the game. Well, it became official today. Ray Bourque, we've known all along he's a Hall of Famer. Now he is an official Hall of Famer, one of 3 players inducted into the, or announced today that he will be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. For all the latest, we go across the way to Jamie Parker at a Sports Desk update.
All right, thanks, TC. Bruins fans knew it would be a slam dunk decision for the Hockey Hall of Fame committee. No big surprise that Raymond Bourque is part of the class of 2004 to be inducted in his first year of eligibility. Over a 22-year career, Bourque developed into arguably the best defenseman to ever play the game. And the always modest number 77 was grateful to be voted in.
For me, growing up in Montreal and watching so many great players and playing in Boston, playing with so many great players and the history and finishing in Colorado, for me it's an incredible honor. It just caps off a tremendous career and something that you never really think about when you start playing this game.
That is our Sports Desk update brought to you by Monadnock Mountain Spring Water. Get it and go. Now back to you, TC.
Thank you, Jamie. And by the way, Paul Coffey and Larry Murphy, the other players inducted into, or again, who will be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. The announcement coming late this afternoon. So it is good news for Bruins fans who get to see number 77 inducted into the Hall in Toronto, but a bittersweet time for hockey fans. That's what Jackie McMullen talks about in tonight's Boston Globe commentary.
Ray Bourque, surprise, was inducted into the National Hockey League Hall of Fame on his very first try today. This was the biggest lock in sports, an elite athlete playing at the top of his game who actually believed in that role model stuff. Let me tell you something. I pine for guys like Ray Bourque. Now, I know some people thought he was too vanilla. They wished he spoke his opinion more, and they wished he had a little more pizzazz, and maybe sometimes I wish that too. But you know what? Every time I went into my daughter's room and saw Bourque's picture tacked on her wall, I was glad I knew at least one of her heroes wasn't going to let her down. Pro hockey, as we know it, is in trouble, about to embark on a labor dispute that I think could obliterate the sport completely. Too bad there aren't more Ray Bourques around to remind us what's great about pro hockey. Too bad the sport he loves is about to let him and his son Christopher, who will be drafted this June, down. Now, Christopher's plans are to go to BU and play hockey for Jackie Parker. Not a bad idea. At least on the college level, it's still about the game.
Well, our Boston.com sports poll question tonight, back to baseball. How long do you think it'll be before Trot Nixon returns to the Red Sox? We'll have the results later in the show. But first, our Just for Men rejuvenating play of the day. One more time, a tip of the cap to Ray Bourque. Elected into the Hall of Fame, played 22 seasons. More goals, assists, and points than any other defenseman in the history of the league. He helped the Bruins make the playoffs 17 consecutive times, and he won 5 Norris trophies. Just for men, not just a hair color, the Rejuvenator.
Again, and this unit that's been put together back in the wintertime will finally be as one full unit, and I think that just psychologically the impact on the other players is just absolutely it's impossible to measure that because it'll be so big.
Trot's a very popular teammate. You know, he's a guy that everybody loves to be around. He's a leader, and that part's been missing, you know, out there. Not to mention he's a clutch hitter from the left side, which they really need.
Well, speaking of that, with the move with Dominique versus Dahlbach, leave without a lefty on the bench, the move of Dahlbach going down to Pawtucket, it's kind of limits you left-handed-wise off the bench.
I was really surprised by it. When I walked in today and saw that Brian Dahlbach was no longer here, I was shocked. I know that they like the fact that Dominique gives them that third catcher, and they can use Mirabelli against left-handed pitchers. But still, I still think you need a powerful left-handed bat off the bench. It makes the other team make some moves that maybe they don't want to make, and I think. You know, I think it's a real important thing. I was very surprised by that.
Well, when Trot comes back, you have that lefty on that side of the, you know, when you look at the lineup, all of a sudden he gives you a little more left-handed balance, and so it minimizes, you wonder how often that happens versus the need to get Mirabelli in the lineup. against the lefty, which I'm sure that they measured when they thought about this decision.
Right, and you can also use now Veritek to pinch hit from the left side, right, with Dominique there.
And you'll have Bellhorn when he's not starting,
Right.
which sounds like that'll be probably once every 3 or 4 games as a switch hitter, so he can serve that role a little bit. And we forget, you were saying that the team close to getting football. We forget Bill Miller's still out. And this guy is a batting champion from a year ago, and he's still probably
And another switch hitter.
Another switch hitter.
Yeah.
So
Oh, this team's loaded. They have a $125 million payroll, and now they're getting toward that 125 finally.
So much to talk about, Nick, with the Red Sox today. We don't really have a lot of time to talk about the league, but an amazing game between Milwaukee and Anaheim last night. 17 innings. Milwaukee wins 1-0. I don't know if it's the first time in baseball history that a team strikes out 26 times and wins a game.
Yeah,
but it's pretty remarkable.
I know. It's swinging and missed that many times. And to have some of those days that those guys had, like Ben Grieve, I think struck out 5 times. And who was the other guy? Struck out 6 times, I think.
Jenkins.
Struck out 6 times.
You strike out that many times, you go up just to bunt, just to make contact. It's like, I don't care if I strike, make it out. I just want to make
absolutely.
contact.
But again, one of the stories, Ben Sheets, I mean, this kid's really come along as a terrific pitcher. I think he had 20 straight batters. He retired before giving up.
Oh, he got a big old hang with him. 9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no decision. You hate to not get a decision in
What a
that
future
game.
that kid has, though. That's true. He's a
4
tremendous
hits
pitcher.
for the Angels, 4 for 55 on the night with that lineup.
Again, it's a good thing Tim Salmon's coming back. I'll tell you, they really
exactly
need it.
right.
I don't think they'll be getting Garrett Anderson for a while. That sounds really serious.
Yeah. So it's a good thing Salmon's back, and he'll add the same kind of spark that Nomar adds to the Red Sox lineup.
A great game, but I'm sure if you brought it up in the press box tonight, no one would want a game like that here.
No, especially me, please. Deadline.
Thanks for coming, Nick. We appreciate it. Nick Capardo joining us, and we will continue as we get ready for game number 2 and the return of Nomar Garciaparra. Later, we will hear from Theo Epstein as he talks about what's going on with the Red Sox. Time of the Olympia Sports pitching matchup. You take a look at Bronson Arroyo's numbers going up against Brian Lawrence, who has 7 wins. Arroyo is struggling, winless in his last 3, 2 straight losses, giving up 15 runs, 11 of them earned in the last 9 innings of work. Let's start with Bronson Arroyo. What do you see wrong in what he's doing right now?
Nothing. He's a guy, well, I shouldn't say nothing. When he pitched against the Anaheim Angels, I think they went into that with a game plan that Bronson was going to throw more breaking balls against a very good hitting team. The scouting report said pitch these guys breaking balls. Bronson is a breaking ball pitcher. However, he has to work off of his fastball in a situation that he got away from that in Anaheim, and I think you see he hit 3 batters that game, 3-run breaking balls. And when you don't throw your fastball, you elevate it, you throw it down the middle like that, and it gets hit. He's got to pitch off his fastball, and maybe he'll do that tonight. Get back to his strength. His strength is fastball first, breaking ball second.
0-2, 8.22 at Fenway Park. Any reason for that?
No. I mean, he's a contact guy. Bronson Arroyo is going to put the ball in play. He's going to give up some runs. He's going to give up hits. He's going to not stress the defense, test the defense, as last night with the great plays last night that the Red Sox made defensively. I don't worry about those numbers. It's early. He's doing a great job.
As Johnny Damon said before the game last night, does anybody know who plays for the San Diego Padres? Obviously, fans don't know a lot about this team. Brian Lawrence, 7 wins. He leads the team in wins. Sox actually faced him 2 years ago out at the old Qualcomm Stadium. But this guy has a high ERA. I guess he's a single ball pitcher.
4's not that high. I mean, that's
no, but for
average
7 wins.
now.
I mean, it just,
I
the
still
wins
don't think
jump out at you.
today's game, 4's not a bad number. 7 wins. He's a sinker ball pitcher. He's giving up 80 hits in his 62 innings. He's elevating the ball, much like Derek Lowe. He needs to pitch down in the zone. His last start, he had 16 ground ball outs. And the outings in which he has pitched poorly, he's had more fly ball outs than ground ball outs. And it's important for the Red Sox to try to get him to elevate that ball tonight.
Unlikely we will see anything like what we saw last night. A great pitcher's duel here at Fenway Park. And Pedro Martinez was in vintage form, as good as we've seen him in a long time. 8 innings, just gave up 2 hits, only walked 1, 8 strikers. Just great numbers and a great performance and good velocity.
Well, it was. He had a situation in the Anaheim game where he had guys on first and third, and he picked up his game that inning, and he got out of that. He increased his velocity. You saw the finish on that pitch and the follow-through, and that's what's important. He has found his rhythm and timing that I think it's like finding an old friend. Pedro didn't have that. I think the weather certainly helped. But the big thing for me is that as a pitcher, your body and your rhythm is all timing. The act of pitching is like a dance step, and when you find that, it's like an old friend, and Pedro found that friend last night, and it was wonderful.
Giddy up, as Jason Veritek
He
likes
had
to
some
call
giddy up, you know, and he just was awesome.
And he had great defense behind him.
Yes, he did.
And that's always important, but this is a team that has struggled defensively a lot of this season. They looked very good in the field last night.
Well, when a pitcher puts the ball in play, works fast, throws strikes, defense plays well behind you. Great play by Bellhorn there, and it's contagious. So this play was unbelievable by Pokey Reese. First of all, to get to the ball. Secondly, to have the arm strength and the ability to throw it not only to first, but accurately to first.
Off
was just
balance,
incredible.
and that was a great play.
Good pitching, good timing, good rhythm on the mound leads to good defensive plays in the field.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back with a weekly conversation with Theo Epstein. That comes your way next.
You're going to need 6 stars. This is a good example with a doubleheader, and there are going to be situations down the line where we need 6. I'm more concerned about.
There's only one name that boasts the brute.
Ever dream of catching a Red Sox game from the luxurious 406 Club? Your New England Ford dealers are going to let you do just that. They've got 4 406 Club tickets to 3 Tuesday games in June for your chance to win. Visit NESN.com and tune into WB Mason's Extra Innings every Tuesday to see if you are a winner. All the Red Sox looking better all the time now. Nomar Garciaparra returns to the lineup tonight after missing 57 games. Trot Nixon getting closer to a return. Scott Williamson is here as well. So they're getting closer to the team that they expected to contend for the AL East. A good time to talk to Theo Epstein. The draft behind him, better days ahead. And Theo Epstein sat down with Eric Fried.
Thanks very much. It's been a very, very busy week for Theo Epstein and your staff. Let's start with all the moves here today. Nomar is here, and all the speculation in the media and amongst the fans as to, well, why wasn't he here Tuesday? Terry Francona said it yesterday. I'm sure you'll echo the same sentiments. You guys never set a timetable on when he would return. It's been a pretty open dialogue all along.
Right. He wasn't ready. You know, and all along it's been a real cooperative effort. He's worked extremely hard to get back. The organization's done everything we could to help him out, and the doctors and training staff have been great. So everyone thought that today was the day, and he's ready. He's going to be out there, and we can't wait to see him play.
You got a guy like Scott Williamson who said, well, he's waiting for the trainers and everybody to say when it's okay for him. I know injuries, and especially for those two, it's different. Is the best thing you can do is try to provide him as much, Nomar, I'm talking specifically, enough information about the injury so he can know his body a little bit better?
Exactly, and all players are different. Some of them take a more active role in communicating with our medical staff how they feel, and we wish all players were like that because we really need honesty out of our players and how they're feeling so we can treat them the right way. And Nomar's been great. You know, I think he knows his body better than anyone. He's come back from injuries before, so he has something that he can relate to in terms of how he's feeling now, and he's needed to get his timing down a little bit and felt good yesterday, so he's ready to do it up here now.
Was he able to go 100% in any of the games from Pawtucket? I know there was some concern of like, Nomar, don't try to beat out every swinging bunt or go too hard. You want to just kind of have it reserved a little bit. Was he able to go full out?
Yeah, he really only knows one way to play, so he's going to play hard. I think, you know, he says, yeah, he doesn't feel 100%, and very few players do, you know, in the course of the season anyway, but he feels good enough to play and to play well and not to have to think. When this is important to him. There's a ground ball. He doesn't have to think about bursting to his left. He doesn't have to think about getting out of the box after he swings. He just can do it naturally and with a lot of burst.
Do you sense any animosity on his part at all after what happened in the offseason? Have the conversations been civil and professional and upfront, or is there any lingering hangover from what happened in the offseason?
I think the relationship is good. You know, we've kind of cleared the air a little bit and talked about things and the way you do with all different kinds of relationships in your life. And I think he wants to win as a Red Sox, and we want him to be here. And you know, we've been working together to get him back out on the field. Really cooperated with doing his rehab up here instead of Florida, and he's worked extremely hard to come back and wear that Red Sox uniform again. Now today's the start of the season, and we're real happy for him.
2 roster moves today. A bit of a surprise to many. Andy Dominique sticks around with the club. Brian Dahlback is sent down to Pawtucket. The thought process behind that move?
Well, we're going to have a number of moves in the next week or so anyway. So the choice between Dominique and Dahlback was really to allow Terry the chance to use Mirabelli as a pinch hitter against left-handed pitching, something that he wanted to do. Dominique really hits right-handed pitching better than he hits left-handed pitching anyway. So this was the choice of Terry and the coaching staff, and we were all kind of in agreement this gives us the best 25-man roster. Brian gets an opportunity to go down to Pawtucket Pawtucket play every day. I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
Mark Malaska back with the club. Jamie Brown said Down will start tonight for the Paw Sox.
Yeah, Jamie needs to go pitch. You know, we haven't been able to get him a lot of innings up here, and he's going to start tonight, which is great in Pawtucket. Mark's been throwing very well. He made some adjustments down in Pawtucket. The last 4 outings have been great. He's going to help us, and especially in Coors Field, I think Mark's cutter will play pretty well there.
So many rookies play a vital role in your lineup, more than you would have ever expected in the spring, but I guess that's one of those things where you look back and say, well, you know, we've selected some good people who you can put into key roles. I'm thinking Euclid and guys along that line who could step right up and make a contribution.
It's not the way you want them to get experience with these injuries, but we're going to look back and it's going to be so valuable because in August and September, when these guys step up and win a game for us, they've already done it. There are no jitters, there's no fears. They know they can play at the big league level. They've gotten us to 11 games over 500. Now that we've reached a milestone here with Nomar getting back, it's going to pay dividends for us all year long.
All right, now to the possible stars of tomorrow, the draft. It was a long process getting ready for it, and it just seems a never-ending string of selections. How would you assess how the draft went for the Red Sox now that you've had a little time to look back on it?
I think it went really well. You know, I think we got a lot of big leaguers out there, and we were ecstatic that Dustin Pedroia was available for us at 65. He's a player we thought was going to go off the board, late first round, maybe sandwich pick. And you're really going to like watching this guy play. He's an unconventional player, and then he's a little guy, but he takes a big swing and has remarkable hand-eye coordination. Very rarely swings and misses, can drive the ball, plus defensive player with great hands and range, and plays with a lot of energy.
We've heard David Eckstein comparisons. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a natural comparison because of his size, but he's a little bit different offensive player. He can drive the ball a little bit, and you know, maybe we'll have a different kind of range out there too, but, you know, sure we'll be happy if he can be a shortstop on a championship club the way Eckstein was. We'll be real happy with that.
Went very deep, and we talked to Terry Francona yesterday deep in the draft. His son was selected, and he was genuinely touched by that, and it just seemed to be a gesture on the organization's part just to give the kid the Red Sox name attached to it.
I'll tell you what, Nick can pitch. Nick's a great kid. He's been around the ball club a lot in spring training. We've gotten to know him. He's got great makeup. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's projectable. He's going to go to University of Pennsylvania, and I bet you 3 years from now he's going to be way up high on someone's draft board.
All right, a lot to get to with Theo Epstein. Thanks for your time, Theo. We now send it back inside.
Thanks very much, Eric. Last night, one of our keys to the game was keeping Trevor Hoffman in the bullpen and off the field. The Sox were able to do that last night, getting a 1-0 lead in the 7th and keeping that lead to the end of the game. But tonight, we look at Trevor Hoffman as our Sovereign Bank player profile.
Trevor Hoffman. Although this is the Padres' first visit to Fenway Park, it is not Trevor Hoffman's. Hoffman suited up at Fenway Park for the 1999 All-Star Game.
Strike 3 in the inside corner.
No matter the park, the Padres closer prepares the same each and every night. He watches the first 4 innings from the clubhouse. He takes a hot shower in the 6th inning. He receives a massage in the 7th and is all set to go by the 8th.
Got him.
And it's a routine which has left Hoffman just 1 save behind Jeff Reardon for 4th on the all-time saves list.
364 career saves for Trevor Hoffman, 5th all-time most saves for a single team in Major League history. Well, we're getting ready to send you out to the field in just a little bit. Take a look at the class of 2004 Red Sox scholars. But we want to remind you that it's that time of year again. The Sam Adams announcer for an inning contest begins, and we'll audition contestants with a chance to broadcast an inning with Jerry Remy. It all starts tomorrow, right here on the Boston Globe pregame report at 6 o'clock.
The heart is a blue. And we are dancing, and you're dangerous.
Half of the game you're about to see, our poll question. How long do you think it'll be before Trot Nixon returns to the Red Sox? You say 2 weeks. I think we'll take that. And we take you right now to our Sullivan Tire keys to the game. As the Sox and Padres get ready to do battle in Game 2 of the interleague schedule, the Red Sox need that defense going again and need to keep pitch counts down. Bronson Arroyo, an unknown commodity to the Padres.
Yeah, well, the defensive keys are so important because great defense will minimize the amount of pitches thrown. Pedro last night, if he hadn't had those plays behind him, may have thrown 10 or 12 more pitches. He may not have pitched into the 8th inning, and those certainly the defense will play a big part in that tonight with Bronson Arroyo, who also throws a lot of pitches, a lot of strikes during this game. Now, Arroyo facing San Diego, the advantage is to the pitcher because they have not seen him. They don't know what he throws, so it's a good chance for Arroyo to go out, command the fastball, throw the breaking ball, hitters may have some time to adjust, but the advantage is pitcher on a new team.
Okay, we, of course, will be here throughout the night. Want to stay with us after the game. WB Mason's extra innings coming your way. Mike Timlin will join us in studio. Eric Freed has the clubhouse covered for you. And we check in on the state of the empire as the Yankees continue their series with the Colorado Rockies. We'll come back and then get ready. Take a look at the 2004 class of Red Sox scholars. We'll tell you all about it right after this.
After missing the first 57 games, the five-time All-Star shortstop will make his 2004 debut.
It's like opening day for me, you know, when I'm excited on opening day, nervous, anxiety, everything goes through you. But great thing is I get to play baseball, so I get to go out there and play the game I love, and that's really all that matters.